Alrighty, let's look at electricity in the body, and this begins the A and P section for this chapter 5. First of all, static electricity refers to the buildup of excess charge on an object. Most of the charge on the human body is on the skin or hair. And you experience that, like for example, if you touch your car door on a really dry day, and you'll feel that the discharge of charges from your finger onto the door. If you try to kiss somebody, I don't know if you'll do that, but if you try to kiss somebody, then there can be a discharge of electrons from your lips to their side of their face or whatever. So we experience the charge on the human body in a lot of different ways. The body is a conductor. It conducts, so here, usually I show a Van der Graaf generator in class. I'm sorry that we don't get to do that, but I'll post a video of how that works and what it does. The body is a conductor. It can conduct electricity. But the current you experience is dependent upon the resistance and the voltage. Remember, current is I, and it's equal to V divided by R. So that current is dependent upon the resistance. And of course, that's a function of your body. Does your body have a high or low resistance? And then it also is dependent on the voltage. And that's dependent on the source of the electricity. Wet skin has a lower resistance. And hence it will have a larger current. So you may have seen old wizened electricians as they're testing wires to see if there's current, and they'll lick their fingers before they touch them. And when you do that, it just lowers the resistance of your body and allows more easily for the flow of electricity. There's a table of currents and the effect on people on page 158. You don't have to know the numbers, but I sort of want to give you some feel. Most people can feel 1 milliamp. 100 milliamps of current can cause fatal defibrillation. And 300 milliamps causes burns. 6,000 amps, by the way, is used to defibrillate the heart. So when they do those paddles, that's why they tell you to get away. So they'll do the paddles, and I don't know how they keep from burning the body, but that might be a good project for you to do, a good paper to look at a defib machine and actually describe the physics of how that works. That would be a very good project. Okay, so the amount of current the body receives is heavily dependent on the path that it takes through the body. So, does it go through your finger? Does it go through your arms? Does it go through your legs? Where does it go? From hand to foot, for example, which is effectively the entire body, will be a much larger resistance. And if I have a large resistance, what does that say about the current? Well, that's going to be a smaller current than from your index finger to thumb. Or across your chest. Because remember, resistance is equal to rho L over A. Now the rho is set for your body. The resistivity of your body is set. This is slightly different depending on the path that you take, whether you're going through a lot of bone or flesh or fluids or whatever. But if I have a longer path, then I get more resistance. Or if I have a smaller area, cross-sectional area, then I get a bigger resistance. Let's think about the Emeter. I don't know if there are any Scientologists in the class. Scientology is it's a cult. I'm sorry if you're if you are a Scientologist, I'm sorry, but it is a cult. It's generally classified as a cult. It's based on the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard, who was a science fiction writer in the 50s. And one of the things that they do is they do these interviews. I think they're called like counseling sessions. I forget exactly what they're called. But the person will hold the Emeter, these sort of metal paddles in their hands, and then those paddles measure, they send a current through your body, and they measure the resistance of your body. And they're very effective at monitoring your response, your psychological, which affects your physical response to certain stimuli, certain thoughts that you might have. So I have a video I want to show you. You can watch that. I'll post it in the on the link.